Love and Mercy, I plan on attending the University of Arkansas next year. Today, I would like to introduce our principal, Ms. Carrie Jones. Ms. Jones received her bachelor's from Washington Baptist University, where she majored in sociology and minored in accounting. She received her master's of business administration from Henderson State University, where she focused on the field of marketing. After receiving her MBA, she moved to Dallas to work as a recruiter. After 2 years in corporate America, Ms. Jones decided to pursue a career in education and joined the Alternatives Certification program in Dallas ISD, where she earned a math certification. Ms. Jones taught 7th and 8th grade math at Benjamin Franklin Middle School in Dallas for 5 years, and then began work as assistant principal at Forest Meadow Junior High in Richardson ISD. She served as an assistant principal at Forest Meadow for 8 years before becoming principal. After serving as principal at Forest Meadow for 4 years, Ms. Jones became the principal at Lake Highlands High School. She just completed her 4th year here. To see her every day, I can see that she truly loves being a Wildcat and is so thankful to be part of the Lake Highlands community.
Good morning. I'm Carrie Jones, and it is with great pride that I stand before you as the principal of the School of Champions. I'm honored to be a part of this special occasion, and it's my privilege to introduce our special guest today. When I call your name, please stand and be recognized, and please hold your applause until everyone has been announced. Sitting to my right, Superintendent of Schools, Mrs. Tabitha Brandon. Members of the Board of Trustees, President, Mrs. Regina Harris, Mrs. Debbie Renteria, Mr. Aaron Eager, Mrs. Rachel McGowan, Mrs. Vanessa Pacheco, Mr. Chris Poteet, and Mrs. Megan Timmy. I would like to introduce those sitting on my left. We'll start with our top 10 graduating seniors. When I call your name, please stand and remain standing. At number 10, Maxwell Charles Allen. Number 9, Naomi Hannah Geiger. Number 8, William Evans Meisenheimer. Number 7, Colin James Keaton. Number 6, Hannah Grace Thomas. Number 5, Mary Elizabeth McMullen. Number 4, Tessa Marie Whittam. Number 3, Madeline Corlett Hastings. Our salutatorian with a GPA of 105.0391 is Jocelyn Marie Howell. She will be attending the University of Texas at Austin, where she'll be studying biomedical engineering. I'd like to ask Jocelyn's family to please stand and be recognized. And the valedictorian for the senior class of 2023 with a GPA of 105.2519, attending the University of Austin to study statistics and data science is John Caleb Chelford. I would like to ask Caleb's family to please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Next, I'll introduce our student leaders. Our student class officers. President, Laura Elizabeth Jordan. Vice President, Shang Eop Lian. Secretary, Elena Michelle Lavender. Treasurer, Warren Arthur Hamilton. And historian, Biak. Thank you. You may be seated. Our student council officers. President, Hannah Grace Thomas. Vice President, Olivia Merritt Schmidtke. Secretary, Millicent Leon Ramsey. Treasurer, Sarah Woodard. Technology Officer, Officer Ava Valentina Arena. Innovation Officer Ella K. Bartlett. And Historian Kelly Grace Cawthorn. Thank you. You may be seated. Our TI-12 representatives, which stand for the Impact 12, are 3 seniors who meet monthly with Superintendent Branham, senior staff, and Board of Trustee representatives to discuss topics important to students. Please stand and be recognized. Samson Alaton. Chung Iat Lian. And Audrey Grace Potpotter. Thank you. And lastly, our announcers today are Mr. Robert Hutmeyer, Mrs. Sarita Love, and Mrs. Amy Washman. Please help me acknowledge all of our stage guests one more time. Now I'd like to take a minute to recognize our esteemed members of the Lake Highlands Learning Community. When I call your name, please stand and be recognized. Mrs. Jenny Bates, Area Superintendent of the Lake Highlands Learning Community. Mr. Bill Gallo, Principal, Memorial Park Academy. Mr. Nick Rustin, Principal, Lake Highlands Junior High. Mrs. Susan Burke, Principal, Forest Meadow Junior High. Mrs. Bobby Ecker, Assistant Principal, Wallace Elementary. Mr. Jose Vega, Principal, Moss Haven Elementary. Ms. Mary Kelliger, Principal, North Lake Elementary. Mrs. Katrina Collins, Principal, Skyview Elementary. Mrs. Becky Stevens, Principal, White Rock Elementary. Ms. Allison Condon, Principal, Aiken Elementary. Mr. DeMarcus Goring, Principal, Forest Lake Academy. Mrs. Stacy Marks, Principal, Merriman Park Academy. Elementary, I'm sorry. Mr. Ron Anthony, Principal, Stoltz Road Elementary. And Mrs. Nolene Martin, Assistant Principal, Thurgood Marshall Elementary. We also have some of our outstanding Lake Highlands faculty with us today, so teachers and staff, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. You may be seated. Today would not be possible without the help of several of our staff members. When I call your name, please stand and remain standing. Mr. Casey Gray, Associate Principal. Mrs. Kendall Hutchinson, Assistant Principal. Mr. Tommy Lambert, Assistant Principal. Mrs. Marion Wild, Assistant Principal. Mr. Orlando Champion, Assistant Principal. Mr.